We all know that getting your speech started on the right foot is a really important thing to do. And many of you are preparing, hopefully, for your next speech attempt, the informative one. So I want to tell you about the 4 parts of an introduction. We've added the 4th this time. You only had 3 last time. But the 4th one is a credibility statement, because now you're speaking about topics that are outside of yourself, and you need to prove to us that you have some authority on that. Don't overthink that. If you have interest in rock collecting, you can turn that in to a credibility statement. If you have read a couple of articles about something, you can turn that into a credibility statement. So I want to demonstrate the 4 pieces of an introduction today so that you can be thinking about what those sound like. Remember, you prepare your intro after you've prepared the body and the research of your speech. So that's what I would be doing right now, is using the library resources. You demonstrated that in Unit 4, that you know how to do those, and finding things that you can cite. You need 3 citations in the speech. Once you have your main points decided, then you'll know what to preview in the introduction. So I'm going to give you an example of an introduction that I hope is effective. It's going to start with a grabber. And then I'm going to give you a WIFM, or a reason for listening. Remember, that's what's in it for me, the audience. Then I'm going to give you a credibility statement, and then I'm going to end with a preview. So the topic of my speech is going to be the difference between remote learning, or virtual learning as we are calling it, and the traditional face-to-face experience that many of you have been used to in your K-12 experiences, or hopefully some of your college experiences. So on March 12th, I had an experience of being in a classroom, and I was giving a midterm exam, and we were leaving for spring break. And I mentioned to my students that we might want to practice with this Blackboard Collaborate feature, because there was a chance we're going to have to give our next speech that way, because I thought there was a chance we might be off for a little while because of the events that were happening outside the virus. And sure enough, that was the last time I physically was in the presence of students. So I want to talk to you today a little bit about what education may look like next year in terms of virtual or remote learning compared to what you've been used to, so that you can make an informed decision about what classes you want to take in the fall. I've been teaching for around 28 years, and this is the most I've ever spent looking at a computer screen. But I'm also enrolled in a class called Best Practices in Remote Teaching, in hopes to be able to conquer this effectively for my students in the fall. And so today I want to talk to you about the 3 ways that virtual remote learning looks different than a traditional face-to-face experience.